The nationwide transport strike in Bolivia was temporarily suspended, allowing us to resume our journey toward the Uyuni salt flats, the world-renowned mirror of the sky. As our vehicle pushed forward, we could feel the altitude steadily rising, so we entered the vast high-altitude plateau. Along the way, we passed through Potosi, once the silver mining capital of the world. Its wealth at one time rivaled that of Paris. We had originally planned to explore the silver mines there, but due to the delays caused by the strike, the activity had to be cancelled. Instead, we only made a brief stop in Potosi for lunch. By the time we arrived in the small town of Uyuni, night had already fallen. My very first impression was just how incredibly dusty the place was. The next day greeted us with perfect weather. After breakfast, we set off toward the salt flats. Our first stop along the way was the train cemetery. Thanks to the booming mining industry of the late 19th century, Uyuni was once a major transportation hub in South America. However, when the mining industry collapsed in the 1940s, these trains originally imported from Britain were abandoned. Decades of relentless sun and rain have weathered them into the haunting spectacles they are today. Leaving the train cemetery behind, we drove another half hour before finally arriving at the place we had all been longing to see, the Uyuni salt flats. Famously known as the Mirror of the Sky, spanning more than 10,000 square kilometers, it is the largest salt flat in the world. Since we visited in early May, the dry season had already begun. Most areas were starting to dry out, though smaller pools of water still created the breathtaking mirror effect. The absolute best time to experience the perfect mirror effect is during the rainy season. From December to February, rainfall is moderate rather than overwhelming, creating stunning reflections and making it the peak tourist season. March and April tend to bring heavier rains, but with far fewer crowds. Of course, traveling during the rainy season also means a high chance of encountering actual downpours. From December through April, temperatures are relatively mild, usually ranging between 13 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius. In contrast, during the dry season from May to November, the Uyuni salt flats transform into an entirely different landscape. The salt crust naturally cracks into neat geometric pentagons and hexagons, creating an endless expanse of pure white terrain. This season is much colder, with nighttime temperatures dropping below freezing, but the daytime sunshine is spectacular, and many say it is the better season for sunsets. At noon, we enjoyed a lunch prepared by our driver at a visitor center built entirely from salt bricks. Every single block was made of salt. After lunch, we headed to Nkawasi Island, an island in the middle of the salt flats, also known as the home of the Incas. The island is covered with colossal cacti, some towering more than 10 meters high. Its ground is formed from ancient coral rock, and from the island's highest point, you can enjoy a sweeping 360-degree panorama of the salt flats. During the rainy season, however, the accumulated water on the lake bed often makes the island inaccessible. Personally, I think the ideal time to visit is right at the end of the rainy season, just as the dry season begins. That way you can witness both the mirror-like reflections and the cracked geometric salt patterns. As dusk approached, we drove to a small green lake on the flats to watch the sunset. The temperature swings during this season are extreme. Daytime feels almost like spring, but as twilight approaches, fierce winds sweep across the plateau, and the temperature plummets instantly. Our accommodation that night was very basic, with walls also constructed from salt bricks. The next morning we woke before dawn. Several lakes were on the itinerary for the day, and along the way we spotted quite a few alpacas. At the first lake, the water appeared black because of the particular algae growing there, and parts of the surface had already frozen over. This area lies close to the Chilean border, and the snow-capped mountains in the distance stand directly along the frontier. During one rest stop, we watched our driver refuel the vehicle using a makeshift method. We were traveling through wilderness, where the altitude remained above 4,000 meters almost the entire time. Along the road, we encountered a lone wild fox searching for food. At the second lake, we spotted flamingos adapted to the high-altitude environment. Because we had arrived so early, there was not another person in sight. The birds were completely absorbed in feeding and paid no attention to us at all. Later, we came across a herd of wild vicuñas, prized for producing the most expensive fleece in the world. The Andean plateau is scattered with salt lakes, and before long we arrived at yet another one. This particular lake supported even denser populations of flamingos, filling the air with a faint briny odor from a distance. However, the flamingos disappeared into the landscape, leaving behind only the stunning view of several snow-covered peaks. Our driver needed to be as skilled at repairing the vehicle as he was at driving it. The routes through the wilderness were rough and uneven. In fact, most of the time there were no roads at all. Multiple vehicles could drive side by side across the open terrain, making it feel exactly like an off-road rally. This region is known as the Seven-Color Mountain, because of the rich and vibrant hues covering the slopes. Nearby lay a field of volcanic rocks where we stopped for lunch. Or rather, a wild picnic. The area was teeming with wild rabbits and rodents, and we noticed a unique species of moss thriving within the crevices of the rocks. As we continued onward, we occasionally passed fields of jagged boulders, sculpted by centuries of wind and rain erosion. Eventually, we arrived at Laguna Colorada, near the Chilean border, another salt lake. It is enormous, covering roughly 60 square kilometers, yet only about 1 meter deep. Minerals and algae give the water its striking red color, dotted with white borax islands. Thanks to the abundance of plankton, the lake attracts massive flocks of flamingos. In fact, 3 of the world's 6 flamingo species can be found here. Alongside the flamingos, alpacas are also frequent visitors. By evening, we pass through a geothermal area, where visitors can soak in natural hot springs. The night was bitterly cold, with temperatures falling far below freezing, cold enough for the water pipes to freeze solid. The living conditions were basic, and I slept through the night without even undressing. Early the next morning, we set off on the journey back to Uyuni, alongside a small stream fed by melting snow and ice. We spotted several rheas, the South American relatives of ostriches. This route featured even more dramatic rock formations, though we stopped only briefly at one of them. Our final stop was Anaconda Canyon, where centuries of rainwater erosion have carved a deep, winding trench through the earth that resembles a giant anaconda. And with that, our 10-day journey through Bolivia came to an end. Next stop, Argentina.